Steve's setting up my final few slides for the day, I just wanted to reflect back to where we started this morning and some of the questions that I asked you guys. One of the questions I asked you was to make sure you took the opportunity to connect with somebody that you hadn't connected with before, and hopefully use that as an enduring relationship as you move out of these rooms this evening. The second thing I asked you to do was to make sure that you actually took some knowledge away from the day, that there was something that you learnt, and hopefully that knowledge leads into the third thing, which is getting to the point where you could take something from today that allowed you to be different or innovative within your own organisations. So I'm not going to ask you if you achieved that. I'm going to assume that you did. It'd be embarrassing if I asked you to put your hands up and nobody did, wouldn't it? So I'll move on to my final slides. But before I did, there was one other thing from Don's presentation that I wanted to make sure you guys were all really, really clear on. A lot of the stuff that we're presenting here is the stuff about giving you a vision for the future. But that future basically is available to us today. And the stuff that's been built that Don was showcasing today was built by our team. Don is obviously a critical element of that. We've also got Jay Templeton, who is our regional manager based up in Seattle, here today as well. So again, if you haven't connected with those guys and you want to learn more about this stuff, now's your really good opportunity. Or I said, don't mean right now, I mean very shortly. So, one of the things that I thought, just walking around the room in the last sort of few hours, there seems to be a lot of enthusiasm around two particular things. One is CRM and the new version, Orion or 2013, and also NAV 2013 R2. So we thought we'd make an offer to close out the day, which basically, if this is something that you want to consider, we know that the next step normally is basically to undertake a diagnostic, the diagnostic giving you the opportunity to understand what it's going to actually take to take on that upgrade. And we want to help you to put those business cases together and formulate that diagnostic. There's a few things that we'd like to achieve from that, i.e. getting the diagnostic set in place by the end of October or close to, and getting that diagnostic complete this year. They are really great solutions, and we know many of you need that extra help to move those forward. So if you're interested, just email through to your account managers. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to move on without thanking a few people. So there's a number of things here, but one of the things that is missing off this slide that I wanted to start with is really, we talk about our presenters, but I also wanted to talk about the customers that have presented today. We've had some fantastic showcases. I sat in the room with Babu and went through the Bloodstock presentation. I sat in here with Matt Tullock and watched the Silver Fern Farms presentation. I think they're pretty inspiring, and I hope you guys came out with the same view. So I'd like to thank all of the clients that contributed to presentations today, either by standing on one of the stages or even contributing in the background. So I'd like to take a clap for that. I mentioned this morning the importance of having Microsoft as a partner. You know, when I talk to people about our organisation, I always say that we're a really, really simple organisation. There's lots of things that we do, but we're pretty simple. We just work with Microsoft. So again, thanks to the Microsoft team for turning up today and being an integral part of what we've done. And as I said this morning, a particular thanks to Case for coming all the way down from the States to be with us today. Thanks, Case. Now, of course, our presenters, it's great, and it makes us very proud to walk around the room and see the talent that we've got and the presentations that were put on by our own team today. So hopefully, if I go back to this value thing, I'm really hoping that you guys took something out of each of the presentations, or at least one of the presentations. So again, thank you to our own team and our presenters. And you can imagine that with an event like this, there's a reasonable amount of logistics involved. So putting it together has been a big job for our team. And we leave that up to two groups. We leave it up to, firstly, our marketing and events team. And I'd particularly like to call out Julie and Sally and Tim for the effort that they've put into this event. Again, I'm very proud of what we've come up with, and I hope you guys are benefiting from it in some way. So thanks to that team and thanks to marketing and events. However, our marketing and events team couldn't do it if it wasn't for the support of our Dynamics group as well. And one of the guys that's taken a bit of a back step today in making sure that we actually get all of the presentations done and completed and to message has been James Page, who heads up our Dynamics team, and I'd like to call James out today as well. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to you guys. I'm not asking you to walk out the room at the moment, so it feels like I'm closing, but I'm not quite. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for the contribution that you've made. And yeah, look forward to seeing you next year. So, where to from here? So if you remember what I said first thing in the day, and I think I interrupted halfway through the day, where we go to from here is we're basically going to offer you up some drinks. Those drinks are available through the doors. On your way out the doors, please hand in your evaluation forms, and we'll draw those at the end of the next or the final session. So once you've got a drink, then you'll be able to come back into this room. And as I mentioned this morning, we've got Sir Ray Avery here and ready basically to talk to you again about innovation. So take 5, and we'll see you back here very shortly.